So what would be tax sources? Typically direct taxes and indirect taxes, customs duty and so on. And what are the non-tax sources? So there will be things like investment of LIC. And what has happened in India in the last year, I mean, the problem is that the growth rate is not very high. So as you have heard that we need at least 8.5% of growth rate per annum in India, okay, to achieve our target of some $1 trillion of economy and so on. So that's fine, and also you know that we are a country with a lot of poverty and inequality, and we need to transfer money to the poor people, we have to have support scheme and so on. So that's why you know that you have to have 8.5% rate of growth. So look at China. China started as an economy like us, okay, so it got, I think it was, China became a republic in 1948, and at that point of time, you know that China was poorer than us. But right now, I think the per capita GDP of India is around $6,000. Okay, and China has more than $10,000. Okay, so large gap. Okay, and we know that it's very difficult to close that. So the thing is that why China could do it? Okay, so because they grew at a rate of a double-digit figure, and for us, the calculation would be at least 8.5. Right? So we have to have that growth, and for that type of growth, you know that the government has to play a role in the economy, and it has to spend a lot on infrastructure, okay, and things like that. And if you look at government's typical operation, the government actually, I mean, if you look at economics, okay, so then the government is assigned with some typical roles. Okay, which are the typical roles of the government in the economy? The first is to promote business. Okay, so there are many goods, okay, which are not provided by the private operators. The government should provide those goods. Okay, and also you know that it takes care of market failure. Okay, so that's the typical role of the government, and of course the government should promote business. So that's one part. The other part is taking care of redistribution. You know that there is large amount of inequality. There are richer people, poorer people. Okay, now the question would be why the richer people would be taxed. Okay, so why do you the richer people to pay more tax? Now, of course, I don't know. I mean, if you look at, if I ask you the question, so the people who are rich today, how they are rich today, so is this entirely luck or their effort or a mix of the two? So I think you would not say that it's entirely due to the effort of the individuals. Okay, so some amount of luck is there. The people we are sitting over here, so we have some amount of luck, so some amount of family background and all these things. So that has played a role. Okay, so that's why we are here. So effort is there definitely, but you cannot rule out the role of luck, right? So then, if some people are unlucky, so it's not their fault. Okay. So that's why, of course, I mean, the society has to care for them. So that's why you need redistribution, and redistribution typically means that transfer of resources from the people who can pay, who are more able, okay, to the people who are lesser. Now, the direct tax is typically an instrument, okay, to serve this purpose, okay, redistribution, tax the wealthy and give it to the poorer persons. And of course, the objective of direct tax is to tax more able persons, but we don't see your ability. So that's completely private information to you. So you are sitting in front of me, I don't see how able you are, right? So how they judge that how able you are? So of course looking at the income, because I know that income is related to your ability, some function of your ability. Okay, and the belief in economics, and I would say in all the societies in the world, that ability is very closely related with income. Okay, so that's why income is taxed and wealth is taxed. Okay, and good business, I mean, those who are good. So because in the first presentation we have heard that it's a penalty for being good. Okay, but so those who are good, okay, so they are taxed, right? So that's the philosophy of direct taxes. Okay, and indirect taxes is more regressive because it doesn't matter what your income is. Okay, you have to pay some amount of tax to the government because you are consuming commodities. It's not related to your income, right? So everyone would pay some amount of tax to the government. Okay, so because they are purchasing some commodities from the market. And since this is not related to income, so this is not related to ability. Okay, so you can talk about, why the indirect tax would be there. We should reduce the burden of indirect taxes so that will benefit the poor, or at least on those commodities, okay, which are consumed in a large proportion by the poorer section of the society. If you know about that, if you get on about that, so you should have lower tax on those commodities, right? Okay, so that's the philosophy of taxation, and of course then would come the administrative part. So the complication, the compliance issue. The thing is that if you have more tax rates in the economy, so then you know that it's easier to evade tax. Okay, and people get confused. So sometimes the business as well as individuals are afraid of many tax rates. Okay, so these are complicated things. So you know that for better compliance, it's easier to have only one tax or two taxes in the system.